What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Tony. Ha, almost got me. Story time, yeah, story time. Village storyteller time. So now you know. So now hopefully you don't jump in the comments and like, man, Tune, is this real? Village storyteller time. Y'all know, y'all with me. But I'm gonna rock with this one, y'all. Y'all gonna like this. I'm gonna rock this one out, man. We with no further ado, man, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that comment button for me, y'all. Do that for me. Anyway, let's get right into it, man. We going back to the east side, man. We going back to the east side streets of LA, man. Man, we dealing with a little brother, man, by the name of K9. K9, man, he got that name, y'all, because K9, he was a dog. When I tell you he was a dog, K9 was a dog in them streets, man. He was about that life every which way you could think of. He was about that life, man. K9, he didn't really run with no certain person. He just ran with whatever homie in the set that he was dealing with at that time. But now K9 was a hustler, though, man. He was a real go-getter. Real go-getter. And out of everybody, he would always be the one, somehow, some way, to come up with different schemes, different ways to make some money. And so as K9 got older, he started branching out and dealing with a lot of different dudes. K9 got hooked up with a white one percenter motorcycle gang in LA, man. It was rare because usually these dudes didn't deal with blacks, didn't let blacks into their circle, didn't have nothing to do with blacks, you know what I'm saying? But K9 mouthpiece was so smooth that when he slid up to him, slid up under him, and presented them with the game plan on how they could all get money, they started dealing with K9, man. And for a few years, everything went smooth, everything went cool. It was no problem, man. They made money. K9 made money. K9 people made money because he spread the love and everything was going well. K9 started running into a few problems in them streets, y'all. Yeah, he started running into a few problems in the street until his back was up against the wall. K9 needed a lump sum of money. He needed a lump sum of money bad. And the only way he knew that he was going to get that money was to backdoor the white motorcycle gang that he was dealing with. He didn't want to do it, but he was going to do it because he was what? K9, he was a dog, y'all. He was a dog. K9's family life, it wasn't a lot to speak on. It wasn't a lot to speak on, y'all. It was not a lot to speak on. He never knew his father. Father passed away when he was young. Didn't know the circumstances. Had never even seen a picture of him. Had never even seen a picture of him, y'all. You know what I'm saying? His mother didn't like to talk about him at all. Didn't like to talk about him at all. It was a sore point in her life, you know? And every time she looked at him, she would see his father. Anyway, time going on, you know. K9 doing what he do. Now here it is. By the time K9 was 21, 22, he had hit the lick and backdoored the motorcycle gang. They was hot about it. But K9 went missing for a couple of years. They couldn't find him, didn't know where he was. You know, eventually they like, okay. Where K9 had ran off and left the state. He had left out the state, y'all. He ended up getting popped in Arizona. When he ended up getting popped in Arizona, he had drug trafficking charges and a whole lot of other stuff. He tried to fight the case in court. He ended up getting found guilty. K9 got sent to the pen. Now, K9 was in the pen for maybe 3-4 years. He didn't have a whole lot of more years to go. And one dude seen him one day. White guy seen him one day. K9 didn't know that this dude was an Arizona member of the motorcycle gang that he had beat out the dope in California. The dude wasn't sure, so, you know, he waited. He put the fillers out. And he put the word out. Word came back from Cali that, yeah, that's him. So the dude let him know, hey, man, this dude is locked up out here with me. He's in Arizona prison. They say, man, he got to go. He got to go. You got to get him. By any means necessary, you got to get this dude. We want him unalived ASAP. Boom. K9 started going through ups and downs. They tried to hit K9 on the yard one day, but the hit didn't go right. Now, the gang that K9 was a part of, they had his back. They did have his back, I will say that. And it was always a problem. Once they found out who K9 was in that system, every prison he went to, it was drama. It was a problem. It followed him. You know what I'm saying? The hit was on, and they really, really wanted to get this hit down pat. Now, K9's case was still in court because when the police stopped him, the procedure that he was supposed to do and supposed to take, he did not do. Even though K9 was guilty, even though K9 had what he had. You know, the police, you know, they have to do their thug thizzle the correct way, or a good lawyer will get you off the case. And he had a very good lawyer because, you know, K9 had that money because he had put the beat game down. So the smart lawyer he had was working on it, and he kept telling K9, man, listen, stay out of trouble. I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to get this case overturned, and I'm going to get you out of here. So K9 was like, okay. All right, cool. He said, man, but I got a hit on my head in here. They trying to get me. I'm only defending myself. So the lawyer would tell him, well, I understand that you defend yourself. He said, but now, once I get this case overturned, and you got a whole bunch of crazy stuff, if you've been and hurt somebody in here, or you've been and did something wild, you're going to have to stay in here and do that time. So K9 told him, he said, man, I ain't trying to do nothing to nobody. He said, but man, I ain't finna let nobody hurt me. So his lawyer said, okay, I'm gonna get you transferred. He got K9 transferred to another prison. K9 wasn't in that prison a week before the riot kicked off because they tried to hit him. When they tried to hit him, him and the dudes that he was cool with, they got into another riot, another melee. Somehow, some way, word got to the prison officials that the reason why the riot kicked off is because it was a hit on K9 for something he had did on the streets in California. Okay. Round and round it go. They locked K9 up, and they had to ship K9 to a whole nother prison. Now, by this time, K9 knowing, hey, man, you know what? It's going to go down wherever I go. He said, man, I'm in there. I ain't going to let nobody hurt me. I ain't going to let nobody do nothing to me. He said, man, I ain't scary by far. He say, so now, if it go down, it go down. When he got there, he let all his people know what the demo was. So they was like, you know what, man, we ain't finna let nobody hurt you. We ain't finna let nobody do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? If that's how it's going to go, that's how it's going to go. So boom. About a week or so went by, about a week or two. They knew he was there, and they knew it was coming. So now they had already told K9, hey, look, man, I think it's gonna go down on the yard today. They know you here. They like, what you gonna do? You gonna stay in the cell? K9 like, no, homie, I ain't staying in no cell. Ain't nothing PC scary about me. I ain't doing no rolling it up, none of that. However it's gonna go, that's just how it's gonna go. But I'm coming to the yard. They like, well, all right, homie, just come on to the yard, and it's gonna go down. And it is what it is. It was what it was. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. He's like, bet, that's what's up. Man, K9 come to the yard. Man, the yard was packed. You could tell, though, it was too quiet. Wasn't a whole lot of movement going on. You know when a ride finna jump off. So, dude told K9, he say, man, look, you hear it? He say, yeah, I hear it. I can feel it. I feel it in the air. He say, get ready. He said, I'm ready. It didn't take long. Ride kicked off. Man, it was going down round for round, pound for pound. It was kind of a messed up situation on this one because the blacks was outnumbered. The whites was coming at them, but they had brokered a deal with the Mexicans to ride with them. And so this was a chance for the whites and the Mexicans to come together and just smash the blacks on the yard, because it had already been tension, but way before K9 had even got there. You know, with K9 getting there, that was just like the ding, 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 and they're off. That was the starting bell. Man, listen, they going there. Boom, 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 boom. Those who had knives had knives. Those who didn't. Dudes had weight bars, weights. They had everything they could have, man. They was getting into it. Two white dudes, both of them had knives. They had backed K9 up onto the handball wall. K9 fighting hard as he could. But they yamming at him. Yam, yam. He had already been cut, stabbed in the arm. He had been cut. And it looked like K9 was going down, y'all. He was going down. Man, a tall, light-skinned brother ran over there. Boom, 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 boom. He dropped one of the dudes. Bang. He grabbed K9 by the shirt. He like, man, get back to back with me. Get back to back with me. K9 got back to back with him. And man, they was handling their business, man. Boom, 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 boom. K9 didn't know who this dude was, but this dude was bad. This dude was a ninja, y'all. I'm talking about, man, everybody was kung fu fighting. But those kicks was fast as lightning. This brother was getting down. Boom, 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 boom. Man, for some reason, it gave K9. It gave K9 the strength to get out even harder. Man, the police start shooting. Boom, 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 boom. Get down, everybody down. Everybody down on the yard. Everybody down on the yard. They getting down. They getting down. K9 got down. The tall, light-skinned brother got down. K9 looking at him, he like, man, whoo. He like, man, thank you. So the tall brother had like a little red like heart on his face. Like it was like a birthmark or something, but it was right here on his face. Stood out bright as day. So he asked K9, he said, young brother, man, you good? You safe? He said, yeah, man, I got some scratches on my arm, but that ain't nothing. He like, yeah, just making sure. So boom. And now when the goon squad ran out there, they start cuffing dudes up, locking dudes up. You know what I'm saying? The administration, they had already knew it was going to go down, So now when they got K9 up off the ground, the warden was like, man, take him to Deep Seg. Take him to Deep Seg. Now, Deep Seg is where you go when you ain't finna get no sunlight. This is where you go when you not finna get no sunlight, y'all. And when they put K9 on the tier, when he got there, got his stuff, he hollering up and down the tier. Ain't nobody else on the tier. So the next day, when he got up for breakfast, boom, police give him his breakfast, single man cell. Police give him his breakfast. They go down the tier. So now, about 10 minutes after he had his breakfast, he hear a voice from the cell next door to him. You know what I'm saying? They got bars. So the dude voice said, say, young brother. He say, man, you got to handle this situation. This situation is bad. And he was like, I know, man. But now he said, long as you here, he said, I'm gonna ride with you. He like, man, thank you. So they start talking. So K9 asked, man, where you from? He like, oh man, I'm from a whole nother part of the country, man. You know what I'm saying? So K9 started questioning him, and so the dude started telling me like, well, I don't like to answer all them questions, man. But now the dude started telling him how K9 should change his life and do this and do that and just get his stuff together. He asked about his mother. He said, you got a mother? Your mother still alive? He like, yeah. He said, man, I don't know my father though. My father died in prison when I was real young. I never met him, never seen a picture of him. He like, you know what? Don't even worry about that part of it. He say that stuff happens, man. It happens. He say, but now long as you here, he said, I'm gonna make sure you're gonna be all right. So K9 was like, cool. So, K9 would ask him would he want to share stuff with him. And the brother told him, he like, no. He said, I'm cool. I got everything I need. He say, but now look, K9 asked him, he said, man, why when the police come on the tier, you always get quiet? He said, man, that's how I do. He said, I'm antisocial. I don't fool with the police, period. So now when the police come on the tier, he like, don't try to hold conversations with me. Don't even trip. He said, don't even worry about it if you don't see him giving me nothing to eat. None of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm real militant. So K9 was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to adopt that. I'm going to be militant too, man. You know, I like your style. He was like, yeah, just do your thing, young brother. I'm with you. I'm going to always be with you. So K9 was like, cool, cool, cool. So now about 2, 3, 4 more days go by. K9 get the word from his lawyer finally that case had got overturned. Now he got the word on a Thursday that his case was going to get over, that his case had got overturned and that they would be releasing him that coming Monday. He got that word. He like, cool, cool, cool. So now he started talking to the brother next to him again. And the brother say, man, that's what's up. He say, man, you just maintain till Monday. He say, man, when you get up out of here, he say, man, do me a favor. So K9 told him, he say, man, I'll do anything for you, man. You know what I'm saying? You've been riding with me. He say, man, when you get out, he said, man, tell your mama you love her. I want you to hug her. I want you to kiss her and come up out them streets. Come up out them streets. Yeah, you might not be going back to California, but for some reason, somehow, I got a feeling, man, wherever you gonna go, your mother gonna come too. Leave that California life alone, man. Move on with yourself. Find you a whole nother life and do the right thing. So K9 told him, man, you know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do, man. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So that was Thursday. Friday go by. Boom. Saturday go by. Here comes Sunday. He get a visit out of nowhere. He get a visit. They called him. Boom. They come to this cell. They told him, cuff up. He like, what's up? He said, man, you have a visit. He like, who visit? He say, hey, man, if you going on it, come on. If you're not, you ain't got to go on it. Okay. I'm cuffing up. He cuff up. He went to the visiting yard, and it was his mama, man. The whole time he had been down, all this time, she had never came and seen him because she didn't want to see him like that, you know? She never wanted to see him like that. But now that she knew her baby was coming home, she came all the way to see him because she knew he was getting out the next day, y'all, which was cool. So now, when he went down the tier, he was cuffed up. The police was walking. He stopped. He walking slow. The police, it was 2 police. They had walked in front of him. They way down the tier at the gate. He cuffed up. He stopped. He stopped at the gate where the brother was. And he said, man, I'm going on this visit. And the dude smiled. He like, hey, man, it's going to be a good visit for you right here. It's going to be a good visit for you. He was like, man, how you know? He said, man, take my word for it. Some things you just know. And this is something I know. This is going to be a very good visit for you. Now, you got to look at the time. K9 don't know who coming to see him yet, you know? So he like, all right. So now the police stop and holler at him. Called him by his last name, told him, hey, man, what you doing? He said, man, I'm just talking to my partner real quick. So the police like, talking to your partner? What? Man, if you don't bring your crazy butt on, man, come get this visit. Talking to your partner. Ain't a partner. So K9 like, yeah, all right. He's like, man, I'll holler at you when I come back. He like, okay. Boom. K9 go to his visit. Best visit he ever had, man. It was his mother, y'all. And she cried and she cried and she cried. Man, she cried. She was so glad that the case had got overturned and that her son was getting out of prison. He was coming home. And she shocked him. She fooled him. She had already moved out of California. She had already moved, man. She had moved up to Idaho. And that's what she was telling me. She said, baby, when you get out, you ain't going back to Cali. He was like, mama, you know, well, what about you? She said, baby, I done already moved. She said, I got some place. We're going to start a whole new life together. And she told me, she said, baby, we're going to Idaho. He was like, all right, mama, cool. So he was telling about that He almost got this time in this last riot. But he told her, he said, man, a dude helped me. Tall, light-skinned dude, he helped me. Say, mama, this dude was bad. And so his mom was just glad to hear that her son hadn't lost her life and that somebody was in there willing to help him. You know? Like, all right, well, cool. When the visit was over, K9 came back, and when the police cuffed him up on the visit, when they was coming back, instead of them walking him back down to his cell, they uncuffed him at the front gate part where the tier in. They cuffed him up, and they like, man, shoot, you going home tomorrow anyway. You can go back down to the cell. Now the cold thing about it, you know, police can be paid to do a whole lot of stuff. Police can be paid to do a whole lot of stuff, man. Money talk, BS woke. They had paid the police to let somebody in that cell with a knife, and they was waiting on K9 to come back. They was gonna try to unalive him. In fact, this dude here, if the cell door would have opened, he would have unalived him. You know what I'm saying? So now as K9 walking, he was finna walk past the dude's cell, his partner's cell. His partner stopped and said, hey. He like, don't go in that cell. He like, huh? He said, man, somebody in there. Like, what? He like, man, somebody in there, they got a hit on you. Police let somebody in that cell, man. And if that cell, when that cell door come open, this dude is gonna come out on you with this knife like a Tasmanian devil, man. You don't want it. Don't go. He said, look, go back up to the front. Go back up to the front. He like, man, I ain't no pieces. He said, look, young brother, do what I'm telling you to do. Didn't I tell you I'm gonna always have your back? Didn't I tell you I was gonna always help you? So K9 was like, yeah. He said, man, go back up to the front and let them know that somebody's in your cell. Don't let your pride make you lose your life. You ain't snitching or nothing like that, man. Don't let your pride make you lose your life. So K9 looked at him. He like, all right. He go back up to the front, and they tell him, man, go in the cell, go in the cell. They wasn't gonna open his cell door until he got to his cell. He go back up front. He tell me, say, man, I can't go in that cell, man. Somebody in that cell. How you know? He like, man, the dude must have seen him. Y'all let him in there or something. Man, my partner in the other cell right here, man. He seen it. He told me. They like, man, ain't no partner in there told you nothing. What are you speaking on? What you talking about? He like, man, my partner seen him, man. I ain't going in that cell. So now the police that had let the dude in the cell, he was long gone. So the other police, they was like, man, go down there and check it out. So they sent 3 police down there. When the cell door opened up, lo and behold, it was a dude in the cell up under the bed with a bone crusher, waiting on K9 to try to take his life because they knew he was leaving that Monday. And this was their last chance to get him, y'all. Their last chance to get him. They end up spraying the dude, macing the dude, getting the knife from him, getting him up out of there. Boom. They go back up front, and they tell K9, man, you can go back to that cell, man. You out of here in the morning. And so he's like, man, did you seen? Yeah. He like, all right. So now K9 come back down the tier, and he go in his cell. So he hollered to his little partner. He say, man, thank you, man. He say, man, how'd you know? He said, man, I told you once, I told you twice. I'm gonna tell you again. I've always got your back. He said, man, yeah, that's what's up. He said, man, you don't never talk to the police. They don't never feed you or none of that. He said, man, they know not to stop at my cell. They know not to stop here. And they know I'm not gonna eat it. I ain't gonna never talk to them. I don't do that. He said, but what I am gonna do is always have your back. So he was like, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So the next morning, they rack his cell, boom, called his last name. Pack it up. You all the way. Pack it up. You all the way. He packed the stuff up, man. Boom. He was leaving. He stopped. He told the tall, light-skinned dude, he said, man, I ain't gonna never forget you, man. I ain't gonna never forget you. He said, man, what's your real name? Because the name that K9 had always called him was Bump. You know, B-U-M-P. He would always tell you just call me Bump. So K9, as he say, Bump, man, you know, I'm doing something that, you know, you really don't do. He said, but now I need to know, man, what's your real name? And he told me, he said, man, my real name don't even matter, man. As long as you getting out of here and you go home and you take care of your mama, man, you love your mama to the end of your days. If you do that right there, he said, man, the debt is paid. You do that right there, the debt is paid. K9 told him, man, bet, I got you. Reached to the bars, man, they shook hands. And K9 told him, he said, man, I love you, man. And Bump told him, man, I love you too. Boom. K9 ended up leaving. When he got through the main gate, he stopped. He had a picture that he wanted to give to Bump, and he told the police, he said, man, can you get at the cell 8? So the police looked. He said, man, cell 8 for what? He said, man, I just want my partner to have a picture of me while I'm gone. He said, man, your partner have a picture? He said, man, what are you tripping on, man? Man, just could you give it to him? He said, man, he said, all right. He said, you done went crazy while you was in prison? He said, man, whatever. He said, all right. He ended up leaving. So the police took the picture, just threw it on the ground. He like, man, get him cell. Ain't nobody in cell 8. what he tripping on? You know? Man, listen. K9, he got out. Him and his mother, before they was going to catch a plane to Idaho, in Arizona. She had a hotel room. She had a hotel room that they stayed in that night before they left to go to Idaho, So, you know, he went to telling his mother about all the stuff that he was going through, and he hugged her, and he promised her, he said, mama, my life that I was living, that I'd been living in the past, I'm not going to live that life no more. And he looked at her and with tears in his eyes. And he said, mama, I'm sorry for everything I ever put you through. I promise you I'm going to be a better man from this day forward. And him and his mama just stood in the middle of the floor and they just hugged. She had her son back, you know what I'm saying? She got her little son back that she knew he could, what he could always be growing up. So, she went to the car where she was going to the store or something like that. She had told K9 she was going somewhere, but he was like, okay. But now she called down from downstairs. She called him by his real name. And she had left her little wallet thing. She had left her wallet thing that she needed her card out of so she could buy what she was going to buy. And so she hollered up and told K9, she said, throw me the credit card, the chime card that's in my wallet. He said, okay. So when he got to his mama purse, he got through the wallet. Now you have a little part in here that holds pictures. It was a picture in that wallet. Now he never went in his mama purse and all this and that. You know what I'm saying? Me ain't no fool with no purses. And he tripped because he looked at the picture. And the picture was of his partner, Bump. And he knew it was Bump because the same red heart-shaped birthmark was on his face. He said, wait a minute, hold up. What's she doing with a picture of Bump? He flew down the stairs. He said, and mama was sitting in the car. He said, mama, you know him? And his mother looked and she said, she said, where you get that picture? He said, mom, it was buried in your wallet in the back light. She said, I forgot I even had that picture. He said, mama, this is Bump. She said, Bump? He said, yeah, this the guy that saved my life in prison. This the guy that was on the tier with me and told me to get my life right. If it wasn't for him, I probably would have got unalived in that last ride, mama. Where you know him from? How you know him? She said, baby, that's your father. What? She said, son, that's your father. Your father died in prison when you wasn't up to 3 years old. He said, what? She said, baby, that's your father. Bump couldn't do nothing but put his head down, y'all. When he looked up, man, he had so many tears in his eyes. And he just looked up at the sky. He said, I feel you. I understand now. Thank you. And that point on, boy, Bump changed his life. K9 changed his life, y'all. That's a village storyteller story, y'all. Village storyteller story. Man, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please don't nobody jump in the comments. Talk about, Toon, is that real or not? Like I tell you, like an audio book, homie. I tell them for your entertainment. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all rocking with it, man. In the meantime, between time, man, y'all tell the people you love them. And Jesus is always gonna reign supreme. I'm out of here, y'all. Amen.